Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm from Fenway Park in Boston. We're set for Cubs baseball tonight as the Cubs play their first interleague set here in 2017. Great to have you with us from the oldest ballpark in Major League Baseball. Jim Deshaies and Len Kasper. We've got a lot of Cubs Red Sox connections. Anthony Rizzo was drafted by the Red Sox. He's had a wonderful road trip, and you know he's very excited about tonight.
Yeah, a homecoming of sorts for Anthony, who was a sixth-round pick of the Red Sox back in 2007, was traded away as a minor leaguer to San Diego, so he never played for Boston, but deep roots with Anthony and this organization. And there's a deep fly ball off the bat of Anthony Rizzo, yet another home run. He's having a big road trip in that regard. Last 6 games, OPS up over 1,100. He's hit 4 home runs, driven in 12.
Cubs are 4-2 on this road trip. Red Sox have lost 5 of their last 7. They're not scoring a lot of runs, but they have some really good, young, exciting players.
Well, this weekend fans are going to be treated as some of the best young players in all of baseball. You know all about the Cubs' young stars. Well, here's 3 making the grade, the killer bees, if you will, for Boston. Benintendi, he's just 22 years of age, high average hitter. Bogart, slick shortstop, can really swing the bat. Mookie Betts finished second in the American League in MVP voting. Last year, he's a potential 30-30 guy.
When we come back, we'll get you the starting pitchers, the DH in order. Kyle Schwarber will be that man for the Cubs, and I think you have an idea of who's going to pitch for the visitors. More coming up from Fenway.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Where's the car?
It'll be here in 4 minutes.
Are you kidding me?
No, it looks like he took a wrong turn. Don't worry, this guy's got like a 4-star rating. We're good. His name's Randy. That's like one of the most trustworthy names.
Ordering a getaway car with an app?
Are you Randy?
It's me.
Awesome.
Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaron saved by switching to Geico.
Everybody comfortable with the air tab?
I could go a little cooler.
Okay.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
The new Galaxy S8 has the world's first infinity screen, which makes your world infinitely bigger. A camera fast enough to catch this, and intelligent enough to understand what it sees. It connects you to home and takes you anywhere you can imagine, which makes it infinitely amazing.
In the first, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Great to have you with us tonight. We have the first pitch coming up momentarily. Jake Arrieta, last time here at Fenway Park, almost through his first no-hitter.
Yeah, dominant stuff from Arrieta. It was back in 2014, and it was just as Jake Arrieta was starting to evolve as a pitcher. It was part of a 6-start stretch in which he went 4-0 with an 0.89 ERA. Took a no-hitter into the 6th inning in his previous start against Cincinnati, and then was absolutely brilliant that night against Boston. Punched out 10, allowed just 1 walk, and then that lone single there after 2 men were out in the 8th inning.
And it was Stephen Drew. Notice David Ross was one of his strikeout victims. He would later throw 2 no-hitters, both on the road. And you know, these numbers really don't mean a whole lot because it's a different Jake Arrieta.
Yeah, most of that you're looking at was Arrieta before he became Jake Arrieta. The Baltimore Jake who struggled with his command, and that guy disappeared a couple of years ago. So 1-3 with a 486 for Jake against Boston. Drew Pomerantz will pitch for Boston here tonight. Cubs saw him last year with the Padres, and he was really good at Wrigley. 6 innings, did not allow any runs, struck out 10. He was an all-star last year with the Pods, then traded over here to the Boston Red Sox. He's not quite as good in a Red Sox uniform, but they are very high on the talented left-hander.
So he's had good numbers against the Cubs. It'll be the righty Arrieta for the Cubs, the left-hander Pomerantz for the Red Sox. 04, 07, 13. Red Sox winning the World Series. 2016, it was the Cubs' turn. David Ross right in the middle of both these last 2 World Series championships. We'll have Cubs baseball from Boston next.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Where's the car?
It'll be here in 4 minutes.
Are you kidding me?
No, it looks like he took a wrong turn. Don't worry, this guy's got like a 4-star rating. We're good. His name's Randy. That's like one of the most trustworthy names.
Ordering a getaway car with an app?
Are you Randy?
It's me.
Awesome.
Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaron saved by switching to Geico.
Everybody comfortable with the air tab?
I could go a little cooler.
Okay.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Introducing the Galaxy S8 with an infinity screen that gives you less to hold and much more.
From Teddy to Ernie, Rhino, and Big Poppy, tradition will be honored, both cursed in the past. But tonight, youth will be served. A possible preview of the Fall Classic on a spring night. Next.
Beautiful night for Cubs baseball here in Boston. Let's hear from Theo Epstein, Cubs president of baseball operations. He grew up just a couple of miles from Fenway Park, and he says it's great to be back home.
Went for a jog yesterday and was able to keep a really low profile, which is nice. But one guy who was jogging past me in the other direction just gave me a silent high five, which was good. It made me feel, welcome back, which was this is a good feeling. The city looks beautiful. I did, of course. And the city's looking beautiful today. It's really good to be home.
The cool part is coming back and seeing a lot of the friends and staff and all that stuff that worked here that you developed those relationships with over the years. And not just the on-field personnel, but the clubhouse guys and the parking lot guys. Like I said, the people that you see on an everyday basis that are kind of like family. So that's the fun part for me, is seeing those guys and obviously catching up with the players.
Really neat. Now, John will not pitch in this series, but he did get to hand the home plate umpire, Mike Everett, the lineup card tonight. And let's get the rest of the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. We mentioned Schwarber will be the DH in the leadoff spot. Chris Bryant batting second. Anthony Rizzo, the former Red Sox farmhand. Zobrist is familiar with this park. Addison Russell playing his first game here. Same goes for Contreras. Jason Hayward, really good numbers here at Fenway. Javier Baez at second, and Albert Almora Jr. batting ninth.
Take a look at the Red Sox defensively. All the Bs in the outfield. Benintendi, the rookie, in left. Jackie Bradley Jr. can really go get him. He's in center. Mookie Betts, tremendous defensively as well. He was the Gold Glove winner last year. He's the right fielder. Marco Hernandez, who was once a part of the Cubs organization, he plays third base. Bogarts and Pedroia up the middle. Mitch Moreland's the first sacker. Christian Vasquez is catching, and Drew Pomerantz, the 28-year-old left-hander, will toe the slab for the Bo Sox tonight. He's made 3 starts, 1-1 with a 4.60 ERA.
Mentioned Mike Everett. He's a crew chief and the plate umpire. Bill Welke at first, Bruce Dreckman at second, and big Jordan Baker over at third. A lot of Cubs blue in the stands.
Yeah, there was a buzz around town today. We're fired up for this early season matchup between these two clubs. And with strike one, they immediately go into the shift mode. Hernandez trots out into over to the right side of second base, and Pedroia backs into shallow right.
2 strikes on Schwarber. 81 degrees as we get started. Cubs are 12-9. 1-game lead over Milwaukee. In the National League Central, the Red Sox 11-10. 3.5 back of Baltimore, and in third place in the East. Almost a month into the season. We are on both the main channel and Plus tonight. We'll be on CSN Plus. Actually, never mind. 1 and 2. And that's high.
Well, you expect to see a lot of high fastballs from Pomerantz tonight. That's a big part of his game. He's kind of an old school power pitcher with an elevated fastball and a real good curveball that he leans on heavily. He threw it more than any other pitcher in baseball last year.
And Schwarber strikes out to start the ball game. It's going to be nice these next couple of days and summer-like. Looks like the highs, though, on Sunday will be in the low 50s, and that's an 8 o'clock start local time, so that'll be a chilly one for the game of the world Sunday night. Here's Chris Bryant. Comes in with an 8-game hitting streak, and he takes a strike.
There's that good curveball. So 39% of the time he threw his curveball last year. As I said, the highest curveball usage among pitchers who qualified, who had enough innings to qualify. I think Rich Hill actually threw his a little bit more.
There's a high deep drive, and it's gonna go over the monster. And you know, his father's the proudest man in the ballpark.
Yeah, I was just thinking about Mike Bryant. He's got to be going bananas right now. He, along with a good number of Cub fans here at Fenway. Point to Dad, Mom and Dad, from Chris as he crosses home plate.
That was a shot.
Well, he was ready for that high fastball. Pretty good chance Dad told him to look for it. That's your Ford home run replay. Cubs draw first blood. Bryant gets into that high heater. Gets it out onto Lansdowne Street.
So 1-0. Here's Anthony Rizzo, and he takes a curve for a strike. So Bryant with a 9-game hitting streak. His dad, Mike, is from Massachusetts. Played briefly in the Red Sox minor league system. Read Ted Williams' book. Actually talked to Teddy Ballgame about hitting, and he taught Chris everything he knows.
Yeah, Mike played his college ball just down the road here at UMass Lowell.
Oh, 0-2 on Rizzo, who hugs the plate, particularly against lefties. He pops it up left field. It's Benintendi, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. comes Ben Zobrist. He's playing left with Schwarber DHing. This is only the third time the Cubs have played an interleague series here at Fenway. Wasn't a very good year for the Cubs in 2014, but they swept the Red Sox mid-season. They lost 2 of 3 here in 2011. Two and 0 on Zobrist.
Well, the Red Sox pitching has been really good. Talked about their lack of offense. That's been a big issue of late. There's a breakdown on the series history. Of course, these two teams met in the 1918 World Series, won by the Red Sox. They probably saw each other after the game and said, hey, this was fun, let's do it again.
Tap foul. Yeah, they only had to wait 93 more years to meet up at Fenway, and it would be in the regular season.
Well, Theo Epstein, I'm sure enjoying his time here in Boston this weekend. Couldn't fault him if he was standing in his seats or in a suite somewhere looking out, and I'm the master of all that I survey with these two clubs. Not his style.
Two. Zobrist lines out to a sliding Mookie Betts. What a start to the series. Chris Bryant going over the monster. Cubs 1, Red Sox coming up.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Seems like a good time for a rally beard.
Probably going to take a miracle to get back in this game.
Is he doing it?
Yeah. Robert's on the steal.
Wow.
We have done our work.
You can stop now.
Yeah, I wish I could.
And we've got a long way to go. They have 11 home runs, fewest among all major league teams. Bogarts, Benintendi, Betts at the top. The veteran guys in the middle, Ramirez, Moreland, Pedroia, batting sixth for the first time in his career. Bradley, Vasquez, and Hernandez to round it out.
Cubs are positioned where? Well, there's Ben Zobrist. He's out there in front of the big wall. Albert Almora Jr.'s got a lot of real estate to cover here. Center field at Fenway. Jason Hayward in right. Third to first. Bryant Russell Baez Rizzo. Wilson Contreras is the hind catcher tonight. And our Lexus starting pitcher is Jake Arrieta. Lexus experience amazing. 4 starts into this season. He is 3-0 with a 3.65 earned run average.
With the Red Sox struggling to score runs, John Farrell, their manager, has Xander Bogaerts leading off. That's not the big story here. It's Dustin Pedroia hitting 6th. And first pitch inside on Bogaerts. All-Star last year. He waits on a 1-0. Inside again and maybe a little high. So Pedroia is now batted in all 9 spots in the order.
Every time you see Pedroia, do you think of that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Ground ball back to the mound, and Arrieta will flip to Rizzo for the out.
He is straight up dirtbag, isn't he? And he loves to play the game.
Yeah.
Well, the Red Sox, high average hitting team. They're second in the American League in batting average, trailing just the Houston Astros, but no power at all. They've only hit 11 home runs all year.
Andrew Benintendi, first round pick 2015 out of the University of Arkansas. This is just his 55th major league game. He can rake. 5 for 5 in Baltimore on Sunday.
Got good hair too.
That he does. Curveball. It's 1-1.
Keep swinging it like this, they're going to put him on magazine covers here in Boston.
Check that 2-1. Bryant way off the line at third. And hit to deep right. Hayward back at the short wall, and he can't get it. It's a home run. That's his second.
No flirtation with a no-hitter tonight for Arrieta. Benintendi just got done talking about their lack of power. That's their 12th home run on the year. He's known as more of a line drive, sprayed around the field type guy who would likely pile up a bunch of doubles, but not so much the long ball. But he finds the Red Sox bullpen with this one.
Good effort by Hayward. Jason was watching the replay on the board. I think he thinks he should have caught it, but I don't know if he would have been able to get it without falling into the bullpen. Mookie Betts, 1-1. The runner-up to Mike Trout in the MVP balloting in the American League last year. Slider misses outside. Former Oriole fires low.
First couple of starts, there was concern about Arrieta's velocity. Last time out, that was not an issue. And ironically, he got hit around a little bit last time out by the Reds. Allowed 5 runs, 4 earned in 6 innings, but he didn't walk a man, and he struck out 8.
And shot out into left center. Almora can't keep Betts from a double.
Even without the little mishandle out there, Betts was intent on getting to second base on this ball, and had Albert got it cleanly, they might have had a shot at him. Trying to go away with a fastball, and it drifts up and in a little bit. He's got a quick bat, he's strong, and he can run. The guy can do just about anything on a baseball field.
And he's bowled 7 perfect games as well. Other than that, he's just all right. Here's Hanley Ramirez.
Hey, we get to talk about bowling again.
You're all in on
We're on
that.
a bowling roll here lately.
Called strike. one thing for the Red Sox these days is they're wistful about Big Papi, who retired after quite a year last year. Ramirez has kind of moved all around the diamond over the course of his career. He started out as a shortstop. And that was with Boston. He got traded to Florida. He was a three-time All-Star with the Marlins. A little third base. The Dodgers to the outfield, to first, and now to DH. That is a fair ball. Rizzo will try to run it down. Betts will score. And it's 2-1. Because of the quirky nature of this ballpark, that's probably the only park you'll see a first baseman go that far to retrieve a ground ball.
Yeah, it's what, 305 to the pesky pole down the right field line, and then it jets out quickly. But you see where Hayward's positioned, and as softly as this ball is hit, Rizzo became the only guy who really was going to be able to track it down and prevent Ramirez from getting to second base.
So the Red Sox, who lost both games against the Yankees this week, scored 1 run combined. They've already topped that tonight. And that one gets past Contreras.
Sitting off that outside corner, just a little late to react as Arrieta pulls that fastball all the way across to the other side of the plate.
Swing and a miss by Mitch Moreland. 1-1. Gold Glover last year with Texas. Signed as a free agent in December.
Yeah, with Ortiz retiring, we could use Ramirez as the DH and plug in a good defender there at first base. And Moreland's a pretty good hitter as well. He's got good power.
I recall the last time we were here, you caught a foul ball.
That's right.
We're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. This is, gotta pay attention here.
Right on top of the action.
We'll get something tonight with a right-handed hitter off an elevated fastball from Pomerantz. Be ready to make a play. Yeah, it was fun walking around here this morning, just tooling around a little bit, bumped into a bunch of Cub fans. One kid, he and his buddy, they drove 17 hours straight from Davenport, Iowa to come here. Apparently they were playing Go Cubs Go on the airplane flying in today.
There were members of the Cubs traveling party who stopped by the game last night, Yankees and Red Sox.
Well, the American League guys love to come to Wrigley and interleague play, and the National League guys love to come to Fenway. Even if the clubhouse is a little cramped.
Yeah, they did it right here in Boston and on the north side of Chicago over 100 years ago. 3-2 the count. Pedroia on deck. Some early trouble for Arrieta.
Worthy of a conversation.
One rotation note, Brett Anderson originally was slated to start Sunday night. It'll be Kyle Hendricks instead. And Anderson will start the next homestand on Monday night against the Phillies. The 3-2 base hit. Ramirez will score, and Moreland has a double. That's 4 consecutive Red Sox hits. It's 3-1.
Moreland had a good at bat. Got it looked like a bit of a hanging cutter over the head of Rizzo and into the corner it goes. Always tricky for a right fielder here. If you try to cut that ball off and you don't, and it catches that little ring around it, it'll be like a hockey puck in an arena. It could shoot way out towards right center. Speedy guy might circle the bases.
Acting pitching coach this weekend, Lester Strode. And Pedroia takes a strike. He got back in their lineup last night. Missed 3 games with the left knee / ankle injuries after the Manny Machado slide a week ago tonight. Gets by Contreras, and Moreland will move to third.
It's a point we make over and over and over again with starting pitchers. Sometimes you're just hoping to survive the first inning. You go out there, especially when you're on the road. Now you're not all that familiar with, especially when you get into interleague play. Kind of looking in at the home plate, the backstop. It's a different look, a different feel. Just hoping to survive the first, get back in that dugout, regroup, and go from there.
2 wild pitches in the inning, infield in. Pedroia did what Chris Bryant has done. Rookie of the Year and then MVP the following season. Three and 1.
4-time Gold Glover. The interesting thing about Pedroia as a hitter, when he first came into the league, you know, he has this big hack. I mean, he lets it fly every time he decides to swing the bat, and everybody thought, well, that's just not going to play. He's going to strike out a bunch. Well, that has obviously not been the case.
And he walked him. So that will bring Lester Strode out to the mound before Jackie Bradley Jr. bats. Lester was saying, fastball down and away, get a double play ball and get out of the inning. It's usually the prescription from a pitching coach in this spot.
A little pep talk. And a lot of times it's like, what do you want to do? Well, how do you want to start him? Fastball. Okay, give him a good heater down and away. Roll him over. See if we can get out of here.
Bradley, an all-star last year. Recently on the DL. A sprained knee, and he takes low for ball 1. Recently turned 27. Quarter men in, double play depth in the middle. 30 pitches already for Jake here in the first.
Switch hitting runs has been a bit of an issue for the Cubs pitchers this year.
Swing and a miss, 2-1. Here it is. Fastball 2-2.
Trying to crowd him and a lot of run on that two-seamer, and just Jake having a real hard time finding that consistent release point here in the first. What they're trying to do with Contreras setting up inside, they're trying to throw that two-seamer, kind of starts at the front hip and runs back to the corner. Previous one went middle away, and then this one he just, you know, and really fighting to get it in there, pulled it a little bit.
The 3-2 ground ball, base hit. Moreland scores. Pedroia to third. Throw back to first late. It's 4-1, and we might see some action in the Cubs bullpen. Still only one out.
Yeah, you're just hoping, you know, he got his ground ball, and unfortunately for Arrieta, not in a spot where anybody can make a play on it. Pace on that ground ball too.
Now the number 8 hitter, the catcher Christian Vasquez. Guys are stretching. Nobody throwing yet in the bullpen. A strike. Vasquez debuted in 2014. Missed all of 2015 after Tommy John surgery. And another base hit. Pedroia scores. It's 5-1.
How about a mulligan? How about a do-over? Vasquez shares the catching duties with Sandy Leon. He's a switch hitter. Vasquez, real nice swing of the bat. This Red Sox club, I guess you could say, could argue they were due to break out. Last week, hitting just a touch over 200.
Marco Hernandez, who originally signed with the Cubs back in 09, traded to Boston December of 2014, and he takes a strike. Pablo Sandoval is on the disabled list.
That was the deal that the Cubs got pitcher Felix Dubront from the Sox.
Sandoval has a knee injury. Just a few days ago went on the DL. Never near the foul line. It is Zobrist to make the catch. That's the second out.
Like Wrigley, there's very little foul ground here. I would say less so here than any other ballpark in the major leagues. I mean, so hitters love this yard for a lot of reasons. Room to operate straightaway center field. That will yield doubles and triples. And bang them off the wall and left, sneaking them around the corner and right. Would-be outs drift into the stands and keep at-bats alive.
Bogarts grounded out to start this inning. Takes a curve for a strike. Pitch didn't get the call. And Bogarts held on the swing.
Big old leg kick. Looks like he was able to check.
My guess is this might be a career high for pitches in the first inning by Jake Arrieta. 40. Here's 41. Two, he got him. Finally, out of the first, Red Sox get 5 and lead 5-1.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Live stream your favorite sport at the airport. Binge DVR shows while painting your toes. On-demand laughs during long bubble baths. TV on every screen is awesome. The all-new Xfinity Stream app. All your TV at home. The most on-demand, your entire DVR, top networks, and live sports on the go. Included with Xfinity TV. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
My business is built with passion, but I keep it growing by making every...
State Farm. Well, certainly some connections with these two franchises. Koji Uehara was a Red Sox from 2013 through 16, did some great work. LCS MVP in 2013. We talked about Anthony earlier, originally drafted by the Sox. Eric Hinsky, one of the Boston Colors for a couple of seasons, and the front office triumvirate of Epstein, Poyer, and McLeod, all with roots here in these championship teams that the Red Sox featured.
So they broke their big drought in 2004. The Cubs did it last year. A lot of work to do tonight, trailing early 5-1.
A lot of work, but a lot of time.
Russell into right. He's going to stay with a single.
Yeah, that's where having a center field speed in right field really pays off. The ability to hustle over and get to a ball like that, preventing Russell from getting into scoring position. And again, Addison doing a lot of work to right field in recent days, having a lot of success.
Now Wilson Contreras. And the pitch. It's a strike. Summer-like conditions. Maybe we'll see a big slugfest tonight. There have been a bunch of them over the years in this ballpark. Knocked down by Vasquez. Pomerantz was pretty highly touted. He was the 5th overall pick in the 2010 draft. Taken by the Indians out of Ole Miss. How about Bryce Harper, Jamison Tyone, Manny Machado, Christian Colon, and then Pomerantz, your top 5 picks that year.
What year was that? 10?
2010.
Yeah, then he was traded along to the Rockies, which you wouldn't wish that fate on any young pitcher. Get that phone call.
He was taken 2 picks ahead of Matt Harvey and 8 ahead of his now teammate Chris Sale, who's off to an unbelievable start.
Yeah, I watched some of that game on television last night. Sale Tanaka, a heck of a pitching matchup. A couple innings in, I thought Sale was going to throw no hitter. It was pretty nasty.
He's 1-2 with a 1.19. He's getting no run support. Ground ball, right field. 2 on, nobody out.
Come out and show your support of your world champion Chicago Cubs. The Cubs are back in town this Monday night for the start of a 4-game set with the Fightin' Phils. Tickets are available for all 4 games. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
Chance to get back in the game here. First and second, nobody out. Jason Hayward, 10 out of 22. That's a .455 batting average. And 2 home runs in his career here at Fenway. A lot of that done with the Atlanta Braves. He went around.
Pomerantz will max out around 95 miles an hour with the fastball, but you won't see him there very often. He'll sit around 92. Mentioned the good curve. He also has a changeup. Doesn't use it all that much. Pitches like he did with San Diego last year. Sale continues to do what he's doing. They get David Price back healthy, pitching like David Price normally does. And
Porcello was a Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah. Porcello looked good in his start the other night.
Two outside on a fastball.
Sox won the division last year after a couple down years, and then were swept by Cleveland in the division series. David Price working behind Brian Butterfield, their third base coach.
Just wide again. John Farrell, former Major League pitcher. Fifth season as a Red Sox manager. He got him. Second strikeout for Pomerantz.
Spike curveball and well placed. After a couple of heaters away, goes back to the curveball, and that one doesn't have a big hump in it. That's a tough pitch to recognize. Very sharp breaker.
Baez batting 8th, normally where you see the Cubs pitcher. That's in National League games. Playing under American League rules this weekend. Russell at second. Contreras at first, 1 out, second inning. Red Sox knocked Jake Arrieta around 5 in the first after Chris Bryant hit one over the monster.
Well, always a challenge for right-handed hitters, especially young hitters who don't have a lot of experience in this ballpark, to come in here and not try to get hook happy trying to pull the ball over the wall. The pitch that Javi is most vulnerable to is the right-handed slider out of the zone, and Pomerantz, being a left-hander, doesn't have one of those. So maybe he can do some damage here tonight.
A couple of hits on Wednesday in Pittsburgh. And the pitch.
Ooh. Guessing he was sitting off speed there.
Well, if you are of the belief that you get one really good pitch to hit every at bat, that may have been the one.
Well, the challenge is not to then, you know, once strike one comes, a lot of guys chase. If you're patient and you can work the count, you might get that second cookie. If you ask real nice.
Mora on deck.
It's nice to have the guy with Baez power down at the bottom of the order, though.
No play ball. And the Cubs cannot take advantage of the 2 hits to start the inning. 5-1 Red Sox early.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
I got $10.
Who's this?
Oh, this is Frank. You tell him how much you want to spend on lunch. He tells you everywhere you can eat.
Oh, kind of like Kayak's Explorer tool? You tell it how much you want to spend and it tells you everywhere you can fly?
Yeah, exactly like Kayak's Explorer tool.
Ooh.
Display only.
Jinx, you owe me a date.
Okay.
Get the information you need with Kayak. Travel problem solved. Hey, sweetie. How was your first week?
It's long.
It'll get better. I'm at the Edward Jones office, like Sue suggested.
Thanks for doing this, Dad.
So I thought it might be time to talk about a financial strategy.
You mean pay him back?
Knowing your future is about more than just you.
So let's start talking about your long-term goals.
Multiplied by 14,000 financial advisors, it's a big deal. And it's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
I got my Spark Cash Card from Capital One to put thousands of dollars every year back into my landscaping business. Because I earn unlimited.
Video highlights of John Lester, John Lackey, and Koji Uehara. World Series champions with the Red Sox.
And each being recognized, tipping their hats from the Cubs dugout.
Lackey will pitch tomorrow afternoon against knuckleballer Stephen Wright. And a strike called. Benintendi.
Koji recognizing the crowd.
Swing and a miss on a changeup. 0-2.
Yeah, this is where you got to be mentally tough. You got to turn the page. You wait 5 days to make that start. You get ambushed in the first inning. Feel like you've been kicked in the teeth, but you got to keep competing. Lackey here from 2010 to 14. Lester with that long run, 110 game winner.
Which one's Big John? Are they both Big John?
Yeah,
this one's a left-handed version. Hopped up by Betts. Shortstop calling for it. Russell has it for the out.
In the pregame interview, media scrum, John Lester was asked about the difference between, or was there a difference between Boston and Chicago? And he just started to chuckle. It's like, you kidding me? He found things a little more intense here than he finds them in the Midwest. I think a lot of that too is, here as a younger player, when you're first exposed to it, it's a little different.
By the way, the 42 pitches in the first inning for Arrieta, the most he's ever thrown in an inning, not just the first. One ground ball to Baez, so Arrieta needed a quick second. He gets it. As we're in Boston for the weekend. The Cubs trail 5-1 after 2.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Kayak can't search hundreds of dates for you.
How we doing?
Boring. He ordered milk.
But it can search hundreds of hotel sites. Kayak, travel problem solved.
Hello? Hi, it's Anne from Edward Jones. I'm glad I caught you.
Well, I'm just leaving the office, so for once I've got plenty of time. What's going on?
So, those financial regulations being talked about? They could affect your accounts. So let's get together and talk and make sure everything's clear.
Thanks. Yeah, that would be great.
We've grown to over $900 billion in assets under care by being proactive, not reactive. It's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
My business was built with passion, but I keep it growing by making every dollar count. That's why I have the Spark Cash Card from Capital One. With it, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all of my purchasing. And that unlimited 2% cash back from Spark means thousands of dollars each year going back into my business, which adds fuel to my bottom line. What's in your way?
He faces his old team, along with his mates in the Chicago Fire. Coverage starts at 6 on CSN with Chicago Fire pregame. They'll be on the pitch.
Gorgeous night in Boston. Cubs got a first inning home run from Chris Bryant, but then the Red Sox responded with 5 big ones against Jake Arrieta. So third inning.
Opportunity in the third with first and second, nobody out. Couldn't cash in. But boy, they had a bunch of that in Pittsburgh the other night, too.
Yep. A lot of chances. 0-1 on Almora. And he drives one deep to left. Back toward the wall. Gone! A home run. Number 2 for Albert. 5-2.
An easy game. Stride up there to home plate, hit it over the wall, run around the bases. And again, it's the elevated fastball. That's what Bryant hit. There's your Ford home run replay. These Cub hitters gearing up from the high cheese from Pomerantz. Bryant got him, and now Almora delivers.
Strike on Schwarber. Now the third baseman Hernandez, like he did in the first, will head over to the other side of the field.
See, there have been a number of left-handed pitchers that have had a lot of success in this ballpark over the years. Like John Tudor comes to mind. Tudor was a sinker changeup guy, so those right-handed hitters would try to pull him, and he'd just get him rolling over on that sinking soft stuff. Pomerantz, his game is different. He throws the high heater.
One-two pitch called strike 3.
Could have been low. Vasquez did a nice job presenting it to Mike Everett, the home plate umpire.
Bryant 1 for 1 with a home run. Takes outside.
More discerning with that first pitch fastball, a little two-seamer off the corner. What are you looking for here, Chris? You going to spin it?
To right and foul.
That would have been fun to curl one around the pole.
It's the pesky pole in right.
Named after Johnny Pesky, a little scrappy guy who hardly ever hit any home runs, but every now and then he'd sneak one down there. So yeah, that would be the Fenway bucket list, right? And go over the wall for one and around the pole for another one.
2-1.
Red Sox have the shift down for Bryant. And look how far off the bag Moreland is. With Bryant's speed, that could be a challenge on a ground ball to the left side. Moreland's really going to have to get after it to get in position to receive a throw.
And he went 2-2. By the way, the Green Monster was constructed in 1934. It was not named that until much later. And it wasn't actually green until 1947. 40s and 50s. It was called the fence or the Fenway fence. Ground ball to Pedroia on the shortstop side.
Check out the variety of luxury premier options that Wrigley Field has to offer for your next client, corporate, or family function, like an all-inclusive suite experience located on the Nuveen suite level. Visit Cubs.com/premier for an option that fits your needs. Jeff Garland's favorite place to hang out when he comes to the ballpark.
Rizzo flied to left. His first time up. Huge road trip. First 6 games, 4 homers, 12 knocked in, and a towering fly that will be hauled in by Betts midway in the third. 5-2 Red Sox.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
MLB opening day. It's a fresh start. The first step towards crowning the king. When cities become rivals again. Last season, leave it in the past. Right now, it's anyone's game. Today is about your team, your city, and this year could be your year.
I got my Spark Cash Card from Capital One to put thousands of dollars every year back into my landscaping business. Because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchasing. And that really helps my bottom line.
The Illinois Lottery presents a whole bunch of luck in 30 seconds. Here we go.
Summer Fun Spots opens on May 5th, and their Kentucky Derby party is May 6th. Tickets are currently on sale for the Arlington Million with a special online discount. Visit arlingtonpark.com. Arlington, bet on fun.
Well, that young Cub fan having fun, even though his team trails.
Hey.
Well, wait a minute.
Turncoat.
Bottom 3. Outside ball 1. Mitch Moreland. RBI double and a run as the Red Sox Had 10 come to the plate in the first. It's the blue against the red tonight.
Yeah, I was going to mention that earlier. My own little grievance with this thing.
I know where you're
For
going.
these two old-timey franchises, we need to be white and gray here tonight.
Called strike.
Yeah, this would be a good weekend to have a throwback game too, just for old-time unis.
Maybe from 1918.
Yeah.
Well, they did that a few years ago. Cubs were here.
Probably why I thought of it.
Right.
I saw it before.
Yeah. Back to the mound. 6 in a row now retired by Arrieta.
Finishes in good fielding position, quick reflexes. A very efficient second inning for Jake. And what's Boz call him? Hines innings, because you have to catch up when you've exhausted or use that many pitches in an inning. You've got to try to get back more into that 15 pitch per inning program.
1-0 on Pedroia. There's a strike. Bit inside, maybe high. Jake wanted it. Here's his 2-1. 2-2. Yankees back home and trailing the Orioles 4-0 in the fourth inning. Yanks will come to Wrigley Field next weekend. That'll be fun. The return of Starlin Castro to the north side. Pedroia strikes out.
The Cubs are out of town Mother's Day weekend, but you can still treat Mom at the Park at Wrigley on Saturday, May 13th with a ticket to Craft and Cuisine. Craft and Cuisine is a culinary and craft beverage event featuring more than 40 beer and wine tastings, live music, and chef demonstrations, food samplings from some of Chicago's most celebrated chefs. Purchase your tickets today at parkatwrigley.com. Be all kinds of fun events going on at the Park at Wrigley throughout the baseball season and beyond.
Strike to Bradley. RBI hit in the first. Swing and a miss. So at Wrigley, you got to look at the old board in center and do the math on the score. Here, you got to look to the monster for that line score. Now it's foul to first. as old school as it gets.
There used to be a berm out there in front of the wall years ago.
And Arrieta with his second consecutive scoreless inning. But he trails 5-2 after 3.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Relax, babe. I got unlimited access to all things MLB.
Are you sure that means all things?
Yeah, totally. Good morning, Bryce.
What time is it?
Funny filter time. Say something funny.
I'm not that funny.
I got unlimited data, so we can just keep going if you want.
T-Mobile One. Unlimited data means unlimited baseball.
I got my Spark Cash Card from Capital One to put thousands of dollars every year back into my landscaping business. Because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchasing. And that really helps my bottom line.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a long drive. It is.
It's a swing and a drive. Right field and deep. Back it goes. Malkin. Center field. That's hit a ton.
Holden Kushner with Troy Hawkins, MLB on TuneIn Live.
Season long, Friday, May 5th. Budweiser will provide Cubs t-shirts to up to the first 5,000 early arriving fans 21 and older in the Budweiser bleachers. Get there early. For details, visit Cubs.com/Fridays. Long weekend in Boston. Off day yesterday. Night game tonight. Late afternoon tomorrow. Night game Sunday. Zobrist to start the 4th, robbed of a hit by a sliding Mookie Betts. His first time up. And just the other kind of quirks of this park that are pretty easily noticed when you walk in. The dugouts are kind of pushed well up the foul lines. And they line up with the actual bases. So if you compare that to Wrigley, looks like it's a good 50 feet out toward the outfield comparatively. You mentioned the very tiny visitors clubhouse here. And it is small. Zobrist in the air to left. Benintendi on the warning track with the catch and the out. 2 good swings, but he's 0 for 2.
Yeah, the bullpens, those were added 40s maybe in front of the outfield seats. And they referred to that as Williamsburg. It was Ted Williams could hit more home runs.
Russell 1 for 1. Came in and hitting .320 on the trip. The first 2 games ever here were rained out. So the actual opener in 1912 was played on April 20th. That same day, Navin Field in Detroit opened. Later renamed Briggs Stadium, and then Tiger Stadium as Russell will reach. And he's going to head to second as the ball goes out of play. So it'll be a single and an error. And he's 2 for 2.
Poked a base hit to right last time. Now it's just a little slow roller. It turns into a knock for him. And the Red Sox catch a break here because if this ball stays in play, he likely makes third base.
So a couple of shots now to get him in. Fenway opened 5 days before the Titanic met its demise.
But not Molly Brown. She was unsinkable.
World Series here, their first year in business at Fenway. The old NL Braves played here a few years as well.
These guys, I don't think, like the location of that one. Wants to confer with his pitcher.
Boston Braves played here 1914 and 15. One and one the count. Here it is. It's low. That's all you. You had an interesting idea of this road trip and the Cubs opponents.
Well, the Cubs have been around since 1876. So the Cubs, Reds, and Pirates have all been in business since the late 1800s, and the Red Sox started playing in 1901. So collectively, yeah, the Cubs plus their 3 opponents on this trip have played a lot of baseball games. We talk about the original 6 in hockey.
2-2. The
4 franchises combined have played over 80,000 major league games.
In on the hands, and a little soft liner caught by Pedroia. 2 gone.
I'm not counting them, but it seems to me like Pomerantz is using his curveball a little bit less tonight than he normally does.
You say almost 40%, right?
Yeah.
Russell at second. 2 outs. Cubs trail by 3. Both runs coming on home runs over the monster. Bryant in the first. Almora in the third. 2.
Well, it looked to be a very good pitching matchup in Washington tonight. Has turned out to be a hitter's night so far. Scherzer for the Nationals, DeGrom for the Mets. And the Mets have a 5-3 lead in the 4th. Scherzer's been touched up for 8 hits and 5 runs in 4 innings of work. They've each given up a couple of home runs. Ooh, they're going to run out of timeouts here.
Yeah, how about that at Colorado? Trey Turner hit for the cycle as part of his big series.
Yeah, and you know, Harper's off to a great start. Ryan Zimmerman went deep again tonight. That team appears to be loaded.
Hayward strikes out. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still Boston 5 and the Cubs 2.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
I got my Spark Cash Card from Capital One to put thousands of dollars every year back into my landscaping business. Because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchasing. And that really helps my bottom line.
The Illinois Lottery presents a whole bunch of luck in 30 seconds. Here we go.
That's a long way. Oh, she did it! Oh, that was a oh. We won! Yes, we won! Oh, we won! We won!
MLB opening day. It's a fresh start. The first step towards crowning the king. When cities become rivals again. Last season, leave it in the past. Right now, it's anyone's game. Today is about your team.
You'll get a full recap of the picks and what to look forward to in the upcoming season. In the Loop Prime Bears recap Sunday at 10:30. After a rocky first, Jake has settled in. The question is it too little too late as the Cubs try to come back against Pomeranz in what has been a very good Boston Red Sox bullpen to this point in the season. Catcher Vasquez to lead it off. 8-9-1 for Boston here in the home 4th.
And a good start. Kick and the pitch. 1-1.
Certainly could have been.
Well, they say sometimes about good starting pitchers, you better get to them early, or you won't get to them at all. And unfortunately for Arrieta, the Red Sox did get to him early.
Yeah, I guess, you know, sometimes you're having a hard time locating. You're just trying to get the feel of your breaking pitch out there early in the ball game, first inning in particular. Sometimes you just need a little luck. Somebody hit one on the button right at somebody, they turn it into a double play, and you know, you get out of there allowing just a couple of runs instead of the 5 spot that he gave up. boxing, you can be saved by the bell, but in baseball, you got to get all 3 outs.
Baez totally fooled by that ground ball. I don't know if he was anticipating it would go up the middle or what, but
yeah, I don't know if he was shifting just prior to the pitch and wasn't able to get turned around and go the other way. If he didn't see it, he was pointing at his eyes as if he didn't see it off the bat very well. Yeah, it was just a bad read. That problem earlier this year. Where were we in the signage behind home plate?
Was it St. Louis?
Yeah, it sounds right.
First series of the year. Ground ball, base hit. So 8 and 9 with hits to start the inning.
Great effort by Russell, but again, this ground ball's got a little pace on it. And no play made. So a couple ground balls induced, but first and second, nobody out, and the lineup turns over.
Here's Bogarts, who made 2 of the 3 outs in the first.
The DNA of those Red Sox championship teams from years ago were, patient, grind out at bats. You think of Euclid in that group. This team, not so much. They don't strike out much. They're among the best in baseball in that regard. But I don't think they're as patient a group as those earlier teams.
Curveball got away. Evan Euclid is in the ballpark tonight. He now works for the Cubs.
Pedro Martinez is in the house. They had a shot of Louis Tion up on the big board. He's here. Ryan Dempster threw out the first pitch. But a little around the horn double play.
Orioles now lead 5-1 at New York. They're in the 5th. Manny Machado homering over Monument Park. Estimated distance 470 feet. Longest home run of the year. 2-1. Now 3-1. It's Benintendi on deck. With nobody out. More trouble for Jake. And that'll get somebody up in the Cubs bullpen.
Scurrying.
Left-hander Mike Montgomery. Bryant will play even with a bag at third. Everybody else back. And wide for ball 1.
And 10-8 home run strikeout tonight. really doesn't do either of those very often.
He called that a strike. 0-1.
From the changeup.
That is in jeopardy tonight.
If you're Jake Arrieta, you start this at bat thinking, well, I'll get a ground ball double play. That would be great. Once you get the jump on him, you're thinking, let's punch this guy out and then get our double play. Get out of here unscathed.
He has a sign. And a 1-2. Tap foul. And a 10-day homered into the bullpen in the first. Red Sox club came in with the fewest homers in the majors. Called strike 3. That's the first out and a big one.
Two-seam come on back fastball. I think the earlier changeups in the sequence set that up.
Knocked down by Contreras.
Folks around here last year thought Mookie Betts should have been the most valuable player in the American League. He had 214 hits, most ever by a right-handed batter for the Red Sox.
Middle infielder early in his minor league career. Mentioned he's a great bowler. His high school bowling average was 240. But his final 2 years in high school, he also batted over 500 on the baseball team. So
it's a rare combination when you talk about two sport athletes.
Yeah. One, now 1-2. You know, some nights you'd rather have a guy make contact here and hit a ground ball, but the way it's gone for Jake tonight, he might rather miss a bat.
Yeah, you just get a little wary, you get a little gun shy when contact has found so many holes. You just have to make a pitch, execute a pitch, turn it loose, and as pitchers will tell you, once it's out of your hand, it's out of your control. Always shooting for either soft contact or a swing and a miss.
Two. Caught by Bryant. Out at third. Double play. That'll work.
Yeah, that's not the double play they had in mind, but it'll work. And John Farrell asking for a little time to contemplate a challenge here. I don't know.
Well, it looked like Vasquez beat him, but his hand didn't quite get there. I think he's out.
I think he's out too.
Yep. And no challenge. Remember that inning if the Cubs come back tonight. Still 5-2.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
The Illinois Lottery presents a whole bunch of luck in 30 seconds. Here we go.
That's a long way. Oh, she did it! Oh, oh! We won! Yeah, we won! Oh, we won! We won!
Relax, babe. I got unlimited access to all things MLB.
Are you sure that means all?
Yeah, totally. Good morning, Bryce.
What time is it?
Funny filter time. Say something funny.
Infinity. Well, we just saw Chris Bryant homered earlier. This time he snares the line drive, sprints to the back, knew exactly what he wanted to do. No hesitation, and it paid off. As he beat Vasquez to the base by a nanosecond. It's your Giga Time moment right there.
So fifth inning. And Baez will lead it off. Been a battle for Jake tonight.
Javi, as he came up to hit it, was talking with Vasquez and pointing to the backstop again, as if to say that the signage got him on that ground ball that he misread. So that'd be something MLB is going to have to address.
First pitch strike.
I'm sure there are rules. I know there are rules about what can be back there, but might have to take a second look.
It was an MLB sign in St. Louis. It had a white background. But, after the fact, said we won't use that rotating sign behind home plate. Also could have been just from Baez's angle at second and not being familiar with this park. Maybe just someone with a white shirt behind home plate, because that ball got into the hitting zone. Not be a sign at all. One and two. And he got him. Strikeout number 5 for Pomeranz.
Yeah, breaking ball down in the dirt. He's going through a real tough stretch right now.
Almora with a home run in the third. And he looks at a strike. Late swing and a bouncer to Pedroia. Easy play. 2 outs. Schwarber, who has struck out both times. Now, one of the cardinal rules of being a big league broadcaster is you're never supposed to admit when you're feeling less than 100%. But in this era of Twitter, I've gotten a ton of tweets. You doing okay? Yeah, I feel fine. Just battling a head cold, and so I'm a little stuffed up. So thank you for your wishes. Was it the Fernando line, Billy Crystal from Saturday Night Live? It's better to look good than to feel good. I guess it's better to sound good than to feel good in our business, but I feel better than I sound.
You look marvelous, guy, Fernando.
Yes. Remember, darling, it's better to look good than to feel good. How about that for Schwarber? That was almost like a bunt in the left.
Yeah, it was basically a block. Like he was playing cricket and defending the wicket, and his little shrug as he looks into the dugout says, "I'll take it." He punched out first 2 times up. A little redirect. That's like dead ball era baseball there.
Well, after you've struck out twice, not a bad idea. Put a ball in play. Here's Bryant. Cubs now one big swing away from getting right back into this game. Blocked by Vasquez.
Yeah, Pomeranz fully aware of that. A little defensive here in his approach to Bryant. Vasquez has an outstanding reputation for his defensive work.
Nothing.
He might hook him right here. He might throw him a curveball on 3-0. On the bottom of his own.
Yep. That's kind of like a throwaway line in a broadcast. 3-1. Schwarber at first, and he throws over.
Yeah.
That's like repeating the score with nothing else to say. Here it is, and he walked him. Tying run will come to the plate.
Well, I think it was he just didn't want to make that 3-1 pitch to Bryant. And, you know, he knew sooner or later he was going to have to make it. He figured I'll buy a little time, throw to first, and give me a little more time to think about it, decide what I want to do.
Means a lot to Anthony to be here in Boston, even though he never got to the big leagues with the Red Sox. Nice piece on Cubs.com by Kerry Muscat about Rizzo being so thankful to the Red Sox, who helped him through his cancer treatments in 2008. And remember, John Lester helped him out as well at that time, having previously battled cancer. Pitch on a hop to Pedroia, And that'll end the threat. Cubs strand 2 and trail 5-2.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
The Illinois Lottery presents a whole bunch of luck in 30 seconds. Here we go.
That's a long way. Oh, she did it! Oh, that was a lot. Oh! Yeah! Woo! We won! Yes, we won! Oh, we won! We won!
Relax, babe. I got unlimited access to all things MLB.
Are you sure that means all things?
Yeah, totally. Good morning, Bryce.
What time is it?
Funny filter time. Say something funny.
I'm not that funny.
I got unlimited data, so we can just keep going if you want.
T-Mobile One. Unlimited data means unlimited baseball.
You can follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, at CSNChicago.com, presented by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side.
The World Series trophy will be here this weekend. So they'll have the Red Sox 04 trophy and the Cubs 16 trophy. The Curse Breakers. Pretty cool. Hanley Ramirez takes a strike.
Yeah, that'll be a great photo op for the fans.
And some big charity events this weekend, both here in Boston and back home in Chicago. The 0-1 fouled at the plate. Tomorrow morning, the 12th annual, I can't believe it's been 12 years already, Race to Wrigley charity run. It's a 5K route, and it's an updated course. You will be running through historic Wrigley Field, and it begins promptly at 8 a.m. Central Time. We're expecting to raise over $475,000 for Cubs charities, highest total to date. Tomorrow night here in Boston at the famous Paradise Rock Club, we'll have hot stove cool music featuring Eddie Vedder. And I am told, JD, before they even open the doors tomorrow night, they have already raised over $750,000.
Wow. Good work.
Red Sox have teamed up with Theo Epstein's foundation to be named later. Cubs and Sox will raise a ton of money for children's charities. Can't wait. That's the other thing about winning a World Series, is it creates even more interest in your ball club, and a lot of Cubs players have charitable foundations. That one's going to bang off the monster. Zobrist will field it, and it's a single for Ramirez.
That had no chance to be anything but a single. As quickly as that ball got out there, as long as Zobrist didn't overplay it, looks like a changeup. floated up there, belt high for Hanley Ramirez.
Here's Moreland. Yeah, when you create more interest in your ball club, your ability to raise money for good causes also increases. Swing and a miss. Ramirez running, and he is out at second.
Red Sox taking a look at this as well. It looked like he was going to beat it. Got a pretty good jump here. Contreras just drifts down to his knee, snaps off that throw, and Russell applying the quick tag. Get a good look at it here. Ooh. No challenge.
Well, the Red Sox runners here in these last couple of innings appearing to get to the base before the fielder, but kind of getting caught in the dirt, not getting that hand or foot to the bag in time. Two and one. Montgomery up yet again. Way outside. Orland's double in the first inning. It was his major league leading 12th already. Masahiro Tanaka, JD mentioned it earlier, he went the distance last night. He threw 97 pitches against this Red Sox team. Arrieta nearing that.
Mathematics, didn't they? Complete game shutout, less than 100 pitches.
Ball four.
Left-handed hitting Jackie Bradley Jr. on deck, so this might be it for Jake here.
Foul.
Don't have to be really big to play this game at a high level. Pedroia, a great example of that. This whole Red Sox team, their whole outfield is about 5'10".
Yeah, we did a bit on the average height and the various defensive positions around the diamond. Mookie Betts under 6 feet tall as a right fielder. And a base hit to center for Pedroia.
Imagine that's going to be it for Jake. Montgomery has plenty of time. He's hot and ready to go, and here comes Joe.
So first time in 73 starts, Jake Arrieta will not be able to complete 5 innings. Pitching change in the 5th, and we'll be right back.
It's a new deck season. Make sure your deck is ready for it with new PPG Timeless Stain, exclusively at the Home Depot. Once it goes on and on, protecting your deck for years. So whether your R&R means reading and relaxing or raising a ruckus, we've got you covered with the brand trusted by pros for over 100 years. New PPG Timeless Stain, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Crisp, cold refreshment. It's what Busch is known for. What are you known for?
Oversharing. In fact, I have this thing.
Nope. Nope.
Busch.
I got my Spark Cash Card from Capital One to put thousands of dollars every year back into my landscaping business. Because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchasing. And that really helps my bottom line.
The Illinois Lottery presents a whole bunch of luck